Let's quickly move on to the next episode of the season, Uprooted. After being called by the Tree of Harmony in their dreams, the Young Six are devastated to find it has been destroyed, and so they decide to find a way to memorialize it. This latest episode, to be written by Nicole Dubuck, is one that is very charming and enjoyable, if also very derivative. The premise notably bears many similarities to the Season 5 episode Castle Sweet Castle, but it still works well, mostly due to the characters and how they react and cope with the events of the previous episode. The story does a great job keeping the students' emotional responses and reactions believable throughout. Having formed a special connection with it in Season 8, it's easy to see that the tree really meant a lot to them, and wanting to honour it in a way that feels right does lead to some disagreements within the group. Unfortunately, much of this conflict does come as a result of Sandbar seemingly getting rid of the tree's remains without consulting the others, though it later turns out that he didn't actually take the tree's remains out of the cave and dispose of them, but instead he just moved them out of sight and didn't tell anyone. This feels rather uncharacteristically dumb and impulsive for Sandbar, and I think the writing would have been stronger if the pieces actually were there the whole time and the Six argued over what to do with them when thinking of how to craft their memorial to the tree. It does, however, give Yona a chance to wonderfully stand out as the episode's MVP, acting as the voice of reason when arguments start to ensue, and offering wisdom to her friends when providing them with the story's moral. When they finally decide to use the pieces to build a treehouse, we get our first song of the season, titled The Place Where We Belong, which I found to be quite a nice tune that fits both the story and characters very well. And with the exception of Ocellus, whose part was performed by Shannon Chan Kent, each of the Young Six's voice actors does their own singing on the track, and most of them provide some pretty good vocals. The narrative culminates by having their newly built treehouse magically grow giant, and this is a development I have mixed feelings about. It's easy to criticise moments like this as merchandise pushing, but since Hasbro is a toy company first and foremost, that aspect of the show is really par for the course. My issue with this scene is with its timing. I like the idea that it represents a rebirth for the Tree of Harmony along with a subsequent transformation into something new, and appears to be setting up a passing of the torch conclusion with the Young Six becoming the new bearers of the elements. But it feels like it all happens a bit too soon, and almost undercuts the impact of the season premiere's more dramatic scenes. I think it might have worked better if they had ended this episode with the students feeling proud of what they built together, and then when they leave the cave, the treehouse glimmers to give a hint of sentience, before fully transforming a few episodes later. But reviewing the story's ending for what it is, this is still an interesting way to round out a favourably entertaining episode. Despite its missteps and familiar storytelling, Uprooted is a cute and easily enjoyable follow-up to the season premiere that provides some intriguing setup and speculation for where the Young Six's story might be going next. I'm going to give it a Silver Star score of 7. So that was my review. As always, I'd love to know your opinions, so please be sure to let me know in the comments. Until next time, thank you all for watching, and keep shining on, every pony!